we have a picture of an oak leaf and a design that's in a diamond, but we're not going to do the diamond because diamonds are kind of boring. We're going to do the outline of the leaf, and then we're going to put this cool reflection thing. Let me show you a close-up of that to see how we're doing this reflection. Whoops, and let's get it into focus. So you can see that it's going to be a lot of lines and leaving just a little bit of white so that we can have this sketchier sky, sketchier moon, sketchier mountains, sketchier trees, and then we'll do our more solid lines as we go up. Should be a fun time.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to get a piece of cardstock. You guys can use your sketchbooks, whichever you prefer. And I'm going to draw this leaf where it has the thicker part at the top with my pencil, so I can change some things just in case. And instead of trying to draw all of this wiggliness, I want you to take a look at what this shape is just from the tips of each of these little scalloped leaflets. What we're really drawing is this shape. Let me see if I can draw that a little darker. You may recognize this shape, rounder on one side, pointier on the other. One of our new favorite shapes, the raindrop. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on my paper very, very lightly. We know we're going to erase this. It also almost looks like when you're using a app for a map, and it usually has like a circle right here to say like, hey, you are right here. That's what it reminds me of. Where is my eraser now? So we have our big general shape. And then we have this kind of like main line or main vein that goes right to the very end. I know it gets so skinny you can hardly see it, but it does go all the way to the end. I'm going to do that on my drawing as well. A little bit of a thicker piece right there. And then we'll go up, 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 up. This is not going to be in the final drawing, obviously, because we're going to fill it in with sky and mountains and all that. This is more to help us figure out where the center is so we can make these little bumps on each side even. So don't draw it in too dark. We're going to erase this for sure. And then I can see that these leaves right here are the ones that are kind of the main ones before the direction changes. If we made these straight lines and it went like in a kite shape, these are kind of the leaves that are right at that turning point. So on my big shape here, I'm going to plot out those leaves first. Just going to draw my kind of bumpy leaf shapes. I'm not going to touch the middle line. I'm only going to go in a little bit. And then this top part here almost looks like a crown that a king or queen might wear. They have kind of one spike on one side, one spike on the other side, and the thing in the middle. So I can do the same. I can put a nice big one in the middle. A little baby bump there. And then another bump that goes right out to my guideline. And then swoop it right back in. And then you can kind of freestyle this part down here. Do as many little bumps as you want. Every leaf is a little bit different, so don't worry if it doesn't look exactly like mine. What is something you want to avoid, though? Sameness. If your leaf looks exactly the same on both sides, you may want to reconsider. You can look at this leaf right here and go, oh, these two sides are not the same. If they're not the same in nature, no need to make them the same in your drawing. And I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my line a little bit so I can see what my leaf shape will look like, my silhouette, my outline for my drawing.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and roll my eraser in between my hands like a rolling pin. Lift up some of that extra graphite. Because I like to use a variety of pens to show you that yes, you can ink with anything. I'm going to be using just a regular Sharpie marker. I'm going to try not to breathe too much because it does kind of smell. But you don't have
the smell.
But you don't have to have fancy pens. You can just grab whatever you have in the house. And I am going to be careful to stop kind of at the end of each of these little leaflets, these bumps. I don't want to try to do the whole thing in one go because I will probably go out of control and it will be too difficult. So I'm just going to take it one at a time. Spin your paper to where it's comfortable. Around. I'm gonna leave that on camera for about the next 5 minutes, 6 minutes while you're working on yours.
It's much easier than the animals, I think.
Very much so, yes. Because I didn't get here until about, what, 5:06, so we just cranked that out in 10 minutes.
I was trying to figure out how to print from the alpaca thing.
Mm-hmm. Did you find it?
I think I did a save as and then sent it to my desktop, and then I couldn't find a print in the alpaca
We'll
program.
cover that next time then.
Yeah, there's no hope that either side looks the same on mine.
How natural.
Yes, it looks natural.
Mm-hmm.
2 more minutes and then we will proceed.
Oh, Betsy, on
Mhm.
mountains, you know how you shade in one side or the other?
Mhm.
Do you always shade in, like, if you're going to shade it in on the right side, you shade it in on the right side on all the mountains?
Yes and no. If you want to make it easy on yourself, you do the same side for all the mountains.
Okay.
If you make it more difficult, let's say like this is the moon, right? So it's shining basically like arrows right from the center. So whichever part of the mountain is closer is the one that would be in light. So I could shade this side of this mountain because it's far away from that arrow, and the opposite side of this mountain. And since this arrow is closer to this side, I'd shade in that part of the mountain. You see what I mean? So you can get
I do.
you can get complicated if you want to, but it's art. You can always oversimplify and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to color all of these mountains on the right side and it'll look fine. Nobody will mind.
I know. I know the mountains last time. They ended up looking like cracked eggs because I think I just shaded them wrong.
Okay.
But I didn't know if there was a right or wrong. But
No, there's very, very few times in art that anything is wrong. I'll say that like as a general rule of thumb.
okay.
Art is the place where there is no wrong. There's an outcome that you did not desire.
Surprises.
All right,
There are
you did
many
not.
surprises.
Yeah, you did not desire your mountains to look like eggs, so that was not a thing. But it wasn't wrong. If you wanted to make them like eggs, that's definitely what
But it
you
made
would
me
do.
ask the question today. So
It did,
did.
yeah. See, so it was helpful.
learning tool.
Learning tool, that's right. Okie dokie. I'm going to place my moon. This is our full moon, but if you want to do a crescent moon instead, that's up to you. It's your drawing. Make it how you want to make your drawing. I'm going to stick my moon over here. If you're scared about drawing a circle, you look for your chapstick and you place it on your paper and you trace it. Nobody will come around and say you have to pay a fine because you traced a circle when you were supposed to draw it freehand. No, that doesn't happen. And then stars. We've drawn stars before. I'm going to get a smaller pen for that because my Sharpie is just too thick. Here's another regular pen, a true red. I don't know where I got this pen, but it's a pen. And I can do my smaller details of stars. You might also want to mark out where you want your mountains to be. So I'm going to put a mountain here, probably put a mountain there, maybe a big mountain over there, so that I know how much sky I have. I like to draw my stars a little bit bigger than I actually want them because there's this weird illusion that happens where when you fill in the black, your white dots will just shrink a little bit. They'll get smaller. So if you make them a little bigger than you want to, you can always shrink them down with your black, but you can't make them bigger unless you have your whiteout pen or your white gel pen or some acrylic paint, but then it gets messy. So just try making them a little bit bigger than you want, and it'll be much easier to correct if you do not get the outcome you desire. If you want to put in some clouds, you can also throw in some clouds. I'm just going to do some curly little things here. Put in a shooting star, you can do that too.
Clouds at night, that should be fun to draw.
Yeah. Zoom in here so you can see my things better. And once you put in all the things you want in your sky, you get the fun job of filling in all black Careful around your stars.
Okay, my comet looks like a jellyfish or octopus.
Jellyfish or octopus? You
I can make
can.
that more of a cone head.
You can also make it smooth. There's this style of comet also.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try our music one more time, but if it's too loud, somebody needs to tell me because I can't hear what you guys hear, unfortunately. If you don't like the music, you can also feel free to mute me. I will give a little hand signal when I'm going to talk, and then you can turn me back on.
You found unprotected music, huh?
Yep.
Good girl.
Yeah, Michaela's idea was a good one. We'll work on this about 5 more minutes. If you don't fill in all of your black, don't worry about it. That's the easy part. You can do it on your own time. We'll do 5 more minutes of this and then go on to some other things.
Hey guys,
Mm-hmm.
random question.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys having for dinner?
Dinner? I think we're having a chicken stir fry with asparagus.
I had chocolate
Cool.
covered almonds and a Diet Coke.
I have no idea.
I think my mom is making something, but I'm craving mac and cheese really hard right now, so I might just make myself some mac and cheese.
Do what you need to do.
Just need the calcium.
Yeah, when I make mac and cheese, I eat the entire box in one meal.
Whoa.
You really like mac and cheese.
Yep, it fills me up for a while.
Just about 3 more minutes. That's 3 more minutes.
Yeah, one cool thing about doing that is you don't have to get a bowl, you can just eat it straight out of the pot.
There you go.
Is there another way to eat it?
No?
Yes, there is. The Schwan man puts them in these little plastic trays, and you put it in the microwave for 5 minutes. And you eat it out of a plastic tray.
Oh my goodness.
But you have to have a microwave to do that.
Yeah.
That's so newfangled.
I kind of don't like how my cloud is getting split by my leaf here. I think I'm gonna get rid of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was easy.
There you go. It's colored in black.
I think I might do that with my comic, since it looks a little obscene.
Yeah.
And then you just get out the white pen and create a new thing.
That's right. You can
Black
get out.
guy.
Hey, Kristen,
Yeah.
you know those the sketching that person did of the Asian women? They had a big pencil that they used for the shadows. Do you have any idea what that kind of pencil's called?
I didn't look that closely at that tool, so I don't know.
Have you ever seen anything like that used in sketching, Betsy?
A giant pencil?
It looks like a huge crayon, but it's a pencil, and they use it for this, like the shadows under the eyes. And
Let me take out my box of fine art tools and you can tell me if any of these look like it.
Ah,
Because I do have some left over from my fine art days.
hey, this is fine art, sort of.
This is also fine art, but you know, the boring
fine.
kind that you do in art school.
Oh, that kind. Some of that stuff was so amazing that you were doing, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's like
Isometric perfect.
yeah, we should do some isometric perspective. We haven't done that in a long time.
That's fun.
Oh man, I'm messing around in Metabang, and I just found the sparkle brush.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
sparkle brush.
my cloud is kind of competing with my moon.
Your moon. I would make either the moon a crescent moon so that it's smaller than the cloud, or make the cloud smaller. Basically, you're just trying not to make them the same size. Was it kind of like that, where it's just all lead?
No, it was huge, like bigger than a cigar around. Like bigger than a cigar.
Oh, maybe it was
Oh, it could have been like a blending stump.
a blending stump.
Something like that, but bigger?
Bigger.
But
Much.
bigger. But it was made out of paper?
Yeah,
It looked like a pencil. It was dark on the edge, but that could have just been from blending, huh?
Yeah, it could have
Yeah.
been from blending.
Because I have some big fat blending stumps. Well, we have
It was-
methods.
It was this big around.
I have a feeling that's what it is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
Okay, that makes sense.
That would work for smudges under the eyes and stuff.
Yep. Okie dokie. If you're still doing your black, that's fine, but we're going to move on to our water line. So we have to decide where we want the water and where we want the land to be. You can put it pretty much anywhere. I'm going to stick it kind of halfway down between my remaining space. I'm going to stick mine right here. Just a line right across. Doesn't have to be perfectly horizontal because mine isn't. And I want you to take a quick look at how this reflection works with the trees. Let me zoom in real close here.
Oh, I remember.
So we're going to take that trunk all the way down past the water line. And this is not an actual representation of how reflections work. I'm just going to say that right out loud. When you have a reflection, you don't have this distortion where this tree is smaller in the reflection than it is in real life. It would be exactly the same, just like a mirror. Unless you're at like the Happy Time Fun Circus, when you look in a mirror, you see your face normal on both sides, not squashed, right? So we're going to go ahead and make it equal. When I draw my first tree here, I'm going to make it fairly equal on both sides of my water line, basically the same height. So that when I start sketching in my tree, and these trees are kind of a different style than we've been doing, they're kind of just lines going horizontally.
So where did you say the horizontal? I'm sorry to interrupt, but where did you say the horizontal line should be?
Anywhere you want. It depends on how much reflection you want to draw. If you only want to draw a little bit of reflection, then put it very low. If you want to draw a lot of reflection, put it kind of high. If you want it kind of in the middle like me, stick it in the middle. So if there's my tree on land with a little trunk sticking out at the bottom, I'm going to try to do the same thing on the other side in reverse. So something like that. Doesn't have to be exactly the same because water is wiggling all over the place, so this reflection won't be exact. But we try to make them kind of the same. I'm gonna thicken up my trunk a little bit there. And I'm going to do this with every tree I draw, even if it's a really tall tree. Let's see, I don't want to block my moon, but let's say it's a tall tree over here.
It was about the third week into Kathy's weight loss battle where
Kathy's weight loss battle. Let's skip that.
Eating salad.
Draw my next tree. I'm just making my lines wider and wider and wider as they go down to the trunk. Picking up my trunk there. And if you want to, you can even just turn your paper upside down and you can do your tree again.
That's good.
So our inspiration piece has lots of trees. You can draw this many, you can draw less. That's up to you. Also going to try to kind of guess where my moon would be in the water. It might actually be outside here, but I'm going to cheat a little bit and just put part of my moon right in my leaf. And then along the edge, I want to put in some of the water texture, so I'm going to go right over the lines of my moon a little bit. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little better. All staying horizontal. I don't want it like a clock to have some of them go vertical and some of them go diagonal and some of them horizontal. I want everything horizontal. And then when I bring in my Sharpie to fill in my water here, see if I get the effect I want. I'm also going to generally try to mirror my mountains. So if this is the high point of my mountain, I can see that it goes down a little bit. And I have kind of a W right here. If I flip that around, that means I need kind of like an M. And I've got this really tall mountain. Oops, I'm going to have to get my white pen. That part. If you don't have a white pen and you made the same mistake I did, that's okay. It's too dark for that mountain to reflect in the water. The end.
Can't wait till we play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So you're making the mountains really. Oh, I see. No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of getting the general shape flipped.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it too much. We basically just want some white to surround the trees so that my trees don't go into my dark water.
Got it.
Cardio burns fat, right? No. Cardio actually burns calories, usually in the form of carbs in the bloodstream that are then replaced with the
Hey, there's a good show to watch, guys. It's called Ilona, Sherlock Holmes' sister.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a commercial or something for that one.
It's pretty good. I couldn't place her, but somebody told me she is the gal that was in Stranger Things.
Oh.
The bald girl.
Oh, we didn't recognize her because she had hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Betsy.
Mhm.
You know how I've tried to convince you to listen to the Adventure Zone?
Yes.
Yeah, I was listening to it, like I was re-listening to it from start, And man, I forgot how slow the beginning was.
Yeah.
Ah,
A couple of shows are like that. Like the first season's really slow. You know which one I love though right now is Dingo Doodles. She only posts like once a month, but her Dungeons and Dragons story is amazing.
Oh yeah, her. Guys, name it first. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. It's a really cool. It's
I
a
think
very,
her,
very interesting.
yeah, right? Like they had an
Voice
interesting set of characters.
Is it on YouTube or is it in Netflix?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Dingo Diaries.
Doodles.
Dingo Doodles.
Doodles. It is PG-13. I should just put that out there.
Oh no.
And I heard, at least my sister said, that Dingo Doodle's boyfriend Felix is the dungeon master. And he just
Yep.
wrote a Halloween campaign that's supposed to be like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours long. So if anyone is interested on a Halloween D&D, I will be happy to volunteer to be the dungeon master.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie, I'm a little bit old
Like,
for trick-or-treating. And with Corona, who knows if there will be any trick-or-treating. So,
Doubt it.
why not play some Dungeons
Well,
and Dragons?
Lodi's kind of rebel. I think there will be.
Yeah, I mean, I can see just putting bowls of candy out. Right, like that, I'm sure
Well,
that
they've already on the neighborhood post.
Yeah.
They showed safety.
Oh, like social
Dis-
distancing.
social
candy. Yeah.
Yeah, where they've rigged up the front porch with a line that comes down with a ghost and the candy in both hands. And behind him in a little box is a soda for the parents. So, yeah, Lodi's already being smarty pants.
Yeah, we're already solving those problems. Huh?
Oh, hey, I live. Oh, never mind. We're being recorded.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jeez.
You never
Yeah,
know.
oh,
Kristen's over there cringing.
I don't live there. Anyway, oh yeah, I was gonna ask Betsy if you're gonna do a Halloween campaign. Is it gonna be like horror or like lightly spooky or
I
what
was
kind?
going to use or read over Felix's one first and see if that one was too scary or too tame, and then kind of just like put my own spin on it to get what we want. But honestly, Dungeons and Dragons, I should say, is not just that I pick the style of game and then you guys play it. You guys also tell me like, hey, we kind of want a haunted house game, but we don't want to see any like blood or intestines or anything. We just want to have a couple of little supernatural things going on. Then I will take your wants and I will craft a game for you. So let me ask you, Michaela, what kind of game do you want?
Nah, I'm cool with whatever. I don't really like. Part of me kind of like would prefer it less because I don't know. I've seen like horror campaigns and they don't seem appealing to me. Like hardcore horror.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said in class before, like scary movies and Betsy do not mix. Just that doesn't happen. So certainly I can't tell.
Me either, or vampires.
Yeah, I can't
Wearing
tell.
polyester and wigs, and I'll still have nightmares. Vampires.
Getting closer to 6, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in some details on my mountains. First thing you need to decide is which mountain is in front of which mountain, because right now I just have a couple of kind of triangle tops here. In our inspiration one, they put the short mountain in front just to be different. I'm going to put this mountain in front, so I'm going to continue my line over here. And then maybe this one will come in front of that one over there. And now I've decided which mountain is in front of which mountain. And then I'm going to go ahead and make our little dividing line. Just a little squiggle down our mountain to give it a little bit of 3D-ness. And you can have this squiggle all over the place, doesn't really matter. You just need to get down to the bottom somehow. Oh, whoops, I forgot the other side of my mountain. Here we go. I've got a whole section of black to fill in. Oh my goodness, okay. I'll do that after this. Squiggle down this mountain. And squiggle down that mountain in the back.
That was another thing. Should the squiggles all kind of squiggle to one side more than, you know, stay consistent?
No, they're pretty much anything you want them to be.
But maybe that's why I had that cracked look.
And then we are just going to do one side differently than the other. This artist didn't do too big of a difference between the mountain sides. Let me zoom in so you can see. The only difference, we've got these kind of long squiggles on one side, and on the other side they're a little bit shorter, not as many. Same thing with this mountain. There's some squiggles on this side, not as much on that side. So you can choose if you want to do your stippling thing, your lines, your dots, well, that's it, stippling, or just different textures, that's up to you. We just want to make each side a little bit different. And if you want to, you can also, at the end of each little curve of your dividing line, have a little ridge line come down. Optional, but there's a couple of them here where they have little lines coming off the center line. It would look like this on mine, where I just kind of pick a point from the end of a curve. Maybe this one over here, one over there. And just kind of add in some extra texture.
Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say.
Mhm.
I was gonna say that I remember when like they did a Halloween episode of that we were talking about the Dungeons and Dragons thing.
Like the cartoon did, or what? Who did?
The Dingo Doodles, whatever.
Oh, Dingo Doodles. Yeah, yeah.
I figured like the way that was, it's not like the campaign he's gonna do and like the way he writes, it's probably gonna be horror, like hardcore horror. Maybe not super hardcore. I don't know.
We'll check it out. But it sounds like we don't have any hardcore horror fans in here, so it probably won't be that.
I don't know about Kristen, you know, still waters.
I'm not.
You know what? Part of me.
Horror, no. Kitties.
Okay.
I like kitties.
Kitties. Maybe
You know, I'm
Scooby-Doo level then.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm thinking about if we did that, would we want to play with our own characters? Or we want to make some new spooky one.
That's up to you. Up to you, the player.
Yeah, because I have ideas.
Oh yes, we
Oh.
all start having ideas. I can almost guarantee that everybody makes more characters than they can actually play.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
Do some people play more than one character at a time, or
Oh yeah, for sure.
really?
Yeah,
Well, usually this is
I
what
mean, like in
happens.
one campaign, yeah.
Like a lot of the, I don't know if anybody knows this. Being a dungeon master is a profession now. You can make a living by being a dungeon master. So that person usually wants to play themselves, and you end up having different games run by different friends. So you can be playing 4 or 5 different stories all at once, and then it's just this one happens once a month, that other one happens every Tuesday, and you balance them in that kind of manner.
And you're a different character in each one?
Mm-hmm. Our mountains in the water aren't going to have exactly the same squiggles, but they are going to have a little more back and forth so we can make this like the texture of the water. And maybe I'll darken one side of the mountain there. Using all horizontal lines so we can get the feeling of the surface of that water. Over here too, I would have some. Because this mountain is reflecting down, so all this dotted area, if that reflected in the water, all my dark area would be over here.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a while. I probably told you about this, but a while ago, I remember like the Adventure Zone people, what they were having trouble because their original campaign ended. They were like trying out new things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. It's not specifically Halloween themed. It's more like monsters and cowboys themed.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of them played as a witch, and the other played as a werewolf, and another played as a ghost.
Yeah. So a lot of times you just make new characters because you want it to fit the theme of the story. Like if everybody's playing like an Avengers campaign, you might not want to bring in your little hobbit character or something like that. You'd want to be a superhero like everybody else. I have a feeling we are going to get done early today, but feel free to work at your own pace.
Now, tell us again,
Mm-hmm.
when you're reflecting in the water, then you don't use the stippling, but you're using your
Yeah, I just used
the
horizontal
horizontal lines, but those are kind of matching the stippling, you know.
Yeah, just the side of the mountain that's dark. I want that to all line up, but I'm just going to use a different texture to darken it.
No, I made a mistake. I thought we were doing lines and stippling.
In your drawing, you are. It's not wrong. It's the outcome you desired.
Started doing the dots with the Sharpie and noticed that it looked like yucky.
Yeah, my pen too. I think it was a little thick for the stippling, but it's a lesson for next time. I'll use a thinner pen.
Still like it.
Crater on your moon here.
Yeah, I wanted to do something with that moon, but I didn't know what.
Yeah, I just put a little texture on it.
I'm doing a thing where it's like I'm trying to put clothes on my horse, and it's hard for my brain to comprehend how clothes would drape over a horse.
The same as any other form. Can you imagine a human crawling on all fours?
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll try it with that mindset.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not really much different, or as different as we think it is.
Hey, Kristen.
Yep.
I sent a bunch of pictures in. Did it get to the right place? Some of them might be double. I've already sent in. Do you know?
I can find out. But
Okay. I just replied to one of the Jagged Lines newsletters. I just sent it on that. I just replied.
well, that should work.
That should work. Okay, good.
Maybe
We'll see.
not.
We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll let you know for sure.
There was a little thing at the very top that if you hit that, it took you to a little email where you could attach them. I don't know if you can reply to MailChimp. I'll find out. They'll tell me.
If not, I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Done.
Ooh, let's show everybody. Let's get this spotlight view on here.
Hey, I don't like the dots.
Lovely.
I don't like the dots at first, but yeah, this was fun. Thanks, Betsy.
You're welcome. Hey, your shooting star came out pretty nice.
Well, that was the cloud.
No, isn't your cloud on the?
The star was
you
over
started
here.
out as a cloud.
The black zone. Yes.
Oh. Well, it ended up
It's
looking
another
good, so
cloud.
that's what mattered. Oh, and then your other
Thank
cloud. Very nice.
Yes. Turned out fun.